Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant, and what I do over here is I solve business problems almost every day. And today, the problems we're going to be looking at are related to the psychology of selling and also how to position yourself for high paying clients. And that's because I've been having a conversation over on WhatsApp with Mr. Samuel Nice of Sammy Clean Janitorial Services. I can't remember where he's based. Is he in Uyo? Abi? I think he's based in Uyo. I can't remember. Anyway, I'll have to scroll through my text messages to confirm. And so these are just some of my thoughts. Some of my thoughts just going through from the WhatsApp conversations. Now, in case you can't tell, this is one of the out and about episodes, so there's going to be some noise in the background because I'm in the parking lot trying to see if I can get some work done while I'm waiting for my kids to wrap up classes. Then, if you'd like to connect with me, just like how Mr. Sammy Nice did, then the number to call, to text, or to send a WhatsApp message to is 080 Then, if you don't have 20-30 minutes to listen to long podcast episodes like this, you can ask to be joined to the WhatsApp group. I'll put you in the WhatsApp group, and there you get PDF summaries every single day, not more than 5 pages, very quick and easy to read, so that you can get the gist of everything that we talk about over on the podcast, and then you can get the highlights and action points. Okay, so like I said, psychology of sales and how to position yourselves for higher paying clients. Now, this is my own initial impression. Sorry, excuse me. Mr. Sammy, I beg, no vex. But these are my initial impressions now. I think when people reach out or send in messages and they're looking for the psychology of sales and psychology of selling and things like that. Honestly speaking, I think you guys are overcomplicating things because selling can be a relatively easy thing to do, but then when you come at this looking for psychological tricks or looking for magic words, you're making your job a whole lot more difficult. So selling is not that complicated, and so let's not overthink it. In fact, I like to tell people that the less smart you are, the better. So don't be too smart when it comes to selling, because when you try to be too smart and you're looking for, excuse me, fancy stuff, you miss the very obvious things that are in front of you. Honestly, you do. So I really think we should stop trying to complicate things. Stop looking for psychological tricks, and stop looking for magic words. Selling is very, very simple. What I mean by simple is the process. It's simple. Now, getting a sale is going to involve lots of hard work. But to understand to understand the fundamentals and to start doing it, it's not that hard. So don't overcomplicate things. Don't look for psychological tricks. Don't look for magic words. All those things are important, but they're important, at a higher level, not when you're an SME and you're at the beginning stage. So, for those of us over here listening to the podcast, we just need to learn the fundamentals and do the fundamentals. That's all. Now, let's talk about public speaking, for instance. Now, for somebody like me, because excuse me, for someone like me, I speak at events. So, right now, I just need to be able to make sure that my messaging connects with the audience. And that's good. And that's fine. All those things about the kind of clothes you wear and your positioning, where you stand on stage, the kind of body language you use, and all those things, they're important, but that's not what's going to make or break someone like me now. So for someone like let's say former President Obama now, for instance, okay, yes, elocution skills and body language and positioning and what do you call it, stage dynamics and all those things, yeah, but all that is advanced. You can't be starting your gig, starting your career as excuse me, as a paid speaker. You can't just be starting out brand new and then be worried about all those kinds of things. Should I stand at the front of the stage or at the middle? Should I stand on the left or on the right? When they introduce me, should I walk from left to right or should I walk from right to left? Then should I pick someone in the front of the audience? I mean, I should be looking at somebody at the back of the audience. Do I need to worry about my pronunciation and my elocution and my it's a bit too much for someone who is on the early stage. So all these psychological things, yes, they're important, but not in the beginning. Just learn the fundamentals first. And please, let's not try and be too fancy. In fact, let's pretend that we're not smart. A lot of us listening to these things, to this podcast, we're all smart. We all have master's degrees. A number of us have lived and schooled abroad. But for now, let's just forget all that. All those things will confuse you if you're looking for the easy trick. But if you're interested in the psychology of selling, then there's a book and an audio program that's available from Brian Tracy, and you can even find some of the material available on YouTube. So because of that, I'm not going to do any recap here, or at least I'm not going to do a recap of that right now. So just go to YouTube and then just type in Brian Tracy, the psychology of selling, and then you'll see it there. It's the last time I saw it, I think was about a 5 minute or maybe a six. Sorry, I say 5 minute, about a 5 or 6 hours audio. So just know, Sha, that you'll be listening to this thing maybe like 30 minutes, one hour every day, and in a week you'll be done. So listen to that if you are really, really curious about these sorts of things. Now let's go into the details of the interaction between Samuel Nice, Mr. Sammy Nice, and me. Sorry, I'm scrolling through. Okay, so now he does janitorial services. He found the podcast on Spotify and was looking for sales and marketing podcast. He's been listening for about 3 months. Then he's into premium cleaning, and I wanted to be sure about that because lots of Nigerians, when they say they're doing premium something, what they mean is that they're giving it their best or they're trying to do it at a professional standard. Now, professional standard or doing it at the best does not always mean premium. If you're giving it your best ability, but you're not perceived to be a premium product, then you're not really premium per se. But we didn't talk about that. Then he provides cleaning solutions to businesses, and he wants to close more accounts that are worth millions in profits. So by the time you do the job and you remove all the expenses, you pay all the crew, everything, you have a couple million left. So that's what he's trying to do. So his questions were around sales and marketing for service-based businesses like his. He wanted to know about the human psychology to lean on so that he can close higher accounts. And let's see what else. Okay, and then also how to target businesses that need his services, how to position himself in a way to close those deals. So let's look at a few of those things. Premium businesses. Okay, sorry, hold on. One of my kids is coming here. Let me just do. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, I was waiting for my kids, and one of them just wrapped up, so I had to attend to him real quick. All right, so let's continue now. So let's look at this whole thing of premium business. What is a premium business? Because remember, he wants to be premium. Now, a premium business basically is just a company that you try and project yourself, you try and package yourself, you try and push yourself out there at the top tier of the market. So, in other words, you're charging more than average prices, and you're trying to provide superior quality, exceptional service, and strong brand perception, and then all those sorts of things. So I must confess, when it comes to these sorts of things, these are not problems I can help you with. I am not a brand specialist, I'm not a PR specialist, I'm not a market positioning specialist, so I can't help you with all that. My own specialty is sales, so perhaps you should be listening to other podcasts. But essentially, that's what a premium business is. Then sorry, excuse me. But I would say the cocoa, like the main thing that sets you apart from premium business from standard business is just that standard businesses, you're looking at the competition, what are they charging, and then you're trying to do cost-based pricing, like how much does it cost for me to provide this product or service, then let me add extra, then that extra will be my profits, or so I'll flex, or so I'll do all those kind of things. But basically, when you get into the premium end of the market, your focus is on value-based pricing. Value-based pricing means you don't charge what everybody else is charging. You don't charge how much it costs for you to provide the service, but rather you charge according to the value that the other person is getting from it. So let me use myself as an example. Okay, no, let me go back to wedding photography. Back when I was in the event space. So in the wedding photography space, cost-based pricing would be how much does it cost to create a photo book? Okay, the photo book, it costs 100K to create. Then how much does it cost to make the frames? The frames cost another 100K to make. Then how much does it cost for the flash drive? The flash drive and everything is maybe another 50K to make. Then how much to pay the second shooter? Maybe that's another 100K. So let's say that's 350K. So 350K is my cost. That's when I'm putting my crew out to cover a wedding. Then I can either look at the competition. How much does the competition charge? Oh, okay, the competition they charge 500K. Okay, no problem. Me, I'll charge 500K. My profit is 150. So that's looking at the competition. Then cost base will be okay. My cost is 350K. Then how much for the thing to make sense? Well, if I collect like that kind of 100K, it will make sense. Okay, no problem. So I'll now charge 400K. So those are those are the way that regular people look at it. But for value based pricing, as an event or wedding photographer, you just be thinking of how much can I capture from the market? Okay, I'm based in Lagos. Lagosians, how much can Lagosians pay? Lagosians can drop like 1M for a wedding. Okay, no problem. How will I package myself to be that 1M kind of person? And then you do what it is that you need to do, and then you start charging the 1M. So that is the difference. Okay, my kids are ready. So hold on. Let me just pause and I'll be right back with you. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Um, okay, anyway, you're going to hear some more noise because yeah, we're in a new location now, so I'm still in another parking lot, but this time there are kids playing all over the place. So expect to hear more noise coming in through the background. Okay, so I think we're talking about premium businesses, and I was trying to talk about how the main difference between premium businesses and other businesses is basically this whole thing of value-based pricing. So you're not looking at the competition. So it's not a matter of, my neighbor is charging like this, therefore let me charge like this. It's a matter of how much money can I capture in the market, and then you just do it accordingly. So that's the difference between iPhones and Android phones. So Android phones are, you're looking at the competition. How much is Techno charging? How much is this person charging? All right, let me charge like this, or maybe just put something small. But then for value-based pricing, like the iPhone or like the Samsung S Ultra, blah blah blah, they just think, what can we capture in the market? Can we get away with $6,000? Oh yeah, then let's go ahead. So okay, sorry, I don't know how much phones cost because I'm not really a phone guy. But basically, they're trying to capture whatever it is that they can capture in the market. So for in Nigerian terms, the reason why Samsung, I say Samsung, the reason why the iPhone 17 whatever plus can go for 4.5 million, 5 million is precisely because they're doing value based pricing. How much can certain uh, sorry, the kids are distracting me. How much can the Nigerian market afford to bear? Oh, the Nigerians that can pay 5 million for this thing. Okay, fine, we'll charge 5 million. So, in summary, that's value-based pricing, at least in a very rudimentary way. Sorry for those of you who are pricing professionals. I know you say it's more complicated than that. I agree, but I'm just trying to pass across the how do I put it? I'm just trying to simplify the whole thing so that we understand. So to be a premium business, yeah, high pricing power. You know, you're charging on the high end anyway, and then premium businesses they focus on quality and performance. So the whole thing of better materials, better design, better technology, all of that. So Apple iPhones, Samsung upscale phones, so that's where all that whole thing comes from. Oh, we have this feature, we have better material, it is carbon design, it is blah blah blah, it is Acer, whatever kind of chip, all those things. Then the customer experience for premium businesses, of course, is also on point. So how do you package things? How do your sales staff conduct themselves? How do your customer service people conduct themselves? How do you do after sales service? Things like that. And then another feature of premium businesses is distribution. So distribution just means where do you show up or how do you offer your services. So they make sure that the distribution is very controlled. You don't just show up anyhow. So if Apple could have a choice, I'm sure they would only be sold in certain kinds of establishments and they wouldn't be found in places like Computer Village. But they're not in control of those sorts of things. So you see how Apple designs the Apple iStores, and then Samsung has its own stores as well. And you see how uh, the the stores are designed on the inside, and then all those premium phones, the S Ultra something something. You see the way that they handle the merchandising. The way you um, position the things, how you light the things, how you package the things, and then all of that. Then you know, plenty things, sure. But like I said, I am not a brand specialist, so this is not something that I can help anybody on. So if you're worried about these sorts of things, how do I enter into the premium market? Unfortunately, I'm not the person to ask. So if you are already in a premium market and you're trying to increase your revenues, oh yeah, cool. Let's have the conversation. You've already done the hard work. But if you're a standard business and you're trying to make the transition, I'm sorry, I can't help you. That's not my area of expertise. My area of expertise is sales, especially personal selling. So, Mr. Sorry, let me scroll to the beginning again. I forgot your name. I beg no vex. Nice, Mr. Sammy Nice. So, Mr. Sammy Nice. Um, in my own opinion, the primary problem there's a primary problem that you have to solve. Some basic problems that you need to solve first. Yes, you want to be premium, but right now, let's just take it that you're a standard business. So, if you're a standard business, then there are a couple of things that you need to solve. Sorry, hold on, one moment. The kids are getting into a ruckus here. Let me go and settle quarrel first, then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Um, Sorry, I beg, more than no vex. The boys are fighting. I said, let me settle quarrel because it looked like my my last born was about to beat the neighbor's child, and I said, let me just step in before this thing escalates. You know how it can be now. So those of you who don't have kids, these are some of the joys of parenting. Some of the things you have to look forward to. So where was I now, self? Okay, so I was saying that Mr. Nice, Mr. Samuel Nice, Sammy Nice, you want to be premium. Granted, all of us want to be premium, and we shall be premium in Jesus' name. But the thing is, until then, while we're still at this stage of standard business, there are a couple of things that we need to solve so that we can grow from strength to strength. Now, the first thing you need to figure out, Mr. Sammy, is your ICP. Is it defined? The ICP is the ideal customer profile. That is the target cohort, the target people that you like to work with. Now, you can define it any number of ways. Some people like to define it this way: that who are the kind of people that I want to work with, and blah blah blah. But the way I tackle it is, I say, let's look at your trading history, let's look at your WhatsApp, let's look at your invoices, let's look at your everything, and try and figure out who are the people that you have worked with in the past, the people who paid you on time, the people who you enjoyed working with, the people who didn't price you like groundnut. So who are those? Who are those people? Then, when you figure out who those people are, those are the people that you have to start running after for now, because guaranteed, that's where we've been getting the the biggest amount of cash, or the best kind of cash. So we figure out our ICP. Then, after that, we need to figure out the. We need to look at your ideas for lead generation. So remember, lead a lead is just anyone who might be interested in your product or your service. So, Mr. Sammy Nice, you need to be able to figure out you need to come up with ways for figuring out who might be interested in your product or your service. So we need to figure out what kind of channels are actually working for you right now. So my guess is, from looking at your WhatsApp, my guess is that WhatsApp status is a big thing for you. Okay, so we did figure that out. Is it Instagram? Is it WhatsApp? Do you do physical prospecting? Do you attend business expos? Do you run Instagram advertisements? Do you run advertisements on LinkedIn? What else? Do you use LinkedIn so that you can send businesses cold messages? We need to figure that out. We need to come up with a plan for lead generation. Then we also need to come up with a plan for um, a sales framework. You need to have a script and you need to have processes in place. Now, the reason why you need to have a framework or processes in place is this: if every single day you head out, you're trying to drum up business, if every single time you are freestyling, then you won't know how to improve your business. If things are working, you won't know why things are working and what to continue doing. If things are not working, you won't know why things are breaking down and what it is you need to improve. So you actually need to have a framework and processes in place so that you can check, every single day, every single week, every single interaction, and know where it is that you need to improve, where you need to double down on, things like that. So we need to come up with a sales framework. Also, another reason why we need a framework is because, Mr. Sammy, nice. Eventually, you're going to hire some people to work with you because remember, you want to be premium. And my bro, to be honest, I don't think you can be premium if you're the one who is holding the brush and the broom and the paint. So eventually, you're going to have to scale beyond you. You're going to have to get a team, and when that happens, you're going to need make sure that you have processes in place that you can use to train other people. Then, Mr. Sami, nice. We also need to look at your sales efficiency. Efficiency just means how will I put it now? How much results or how much juice are you squeezing out of each step of the process? So when people are going around trying to drum up business, how many meetings are you securing per week? For the meetings that you get, how many proposals do you now send? For the proposals that you send per week, how many now close? We need to figure that out because that is where we start tweaking the sales process. Because it's possible that using Instagram alone and using WhatsApp alone, it's possible that you're getting maybe 25 people every single month who want to meet with you and who are curious. Okay, good. But if you're getting 25 people every single month, but at the end of the day, the proposals you send is only two, then there's a problem. The problem might be that we're targeting the wrong people. That's why we have so many people at the beginning, 25, but then the proposals we have at the end is only two. Or maybe we're talking to the right kind of people, but then we don't have the skills to be able to handle those meetings well and handle those conversations well. So not too many people are interested in seeing our proposals. So if we can do it such that we're meeting 25 people every single month, but we're able to increase the number of proposals that we drop from two to maybe 10, you see that you're now growing the business. And then for the proposals, how many people close? So we have to look at efficiency. How are things working out at every single stage? So, Mr. Sam, we have to look at stuff like that. Then, last, we'll have to look at customer retention. Customer retention just means when you close business, when people work with you, how many people come back and buy again? How many people refer their friends and their family members and their associates, to come and work with you? So customer retention, though, that's also something you need to pay attention to. So all these things that I've just spoken about now, all right, we cannot grow a premium business if we have not sorted out all these things yet. We need to sort out all these things first before we even talk about becoming premium. Because if you don't fix these things, you don't know who the sweet customers are. You don't know who you're chasing after. You don't have channels for how it is that you're going to look for customers. You don't have a sales script. You don't have any processes in place you use to train people. We don't know our efficiency metrics, whether things are working well, and then customer retention is not good. If we don't have all these things, then like how are we going to transition to premium? We can't premium anything until we fixed a couple of these things at the standard stage first. So, Mr. Sammy, I would strongly advise that you work on these things first. When you have solid answers, for all these things, it is then that we can now worry about whether we're going to do premium. We will not do premium, and then things like that. Sorry, one moment. Let me just settle the kids, and I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. So, just normal child squabbles. So, like I said, Mr. Emmanuel, these are some of the foundational things you need to sort out first. And then, even if you have answers to all those questions and you want to move from standard to premium, it is not a problem that I can help you with. Excuse me, because I'm not a brand specialist. So, but when you get to that stage, you will have to upgrade your core offer. Whatever it is you offer, you have to upgrade it to. So, everything will have to be top notch. Everything will have to be superior quality. You get. So even your gear from your WhatsApp handle, your gear looks okay, but you're supposed to upgrade. Your hat, your vest, your every, and then excuse me, we'd also have to make sure that we eliminate friction in your business process. So friction just means things that happen that cause customers to complain. So quality defects, we need to get rid of that. Delays. If you're a premium brand, we can't be having delays. We can't have any gaps in customer service. Then you have to look for ways to differentiate yourself, in your materials, or be in the technology you use. You have to consider yourself to be like a concierge. Huh. Yeah, you have to consider yourself to be a concierge. So, how will I define concierge now, self? Guy, look at me, I'm using big words that I can't define. Well, anyway, you have to be a concierge. You will have to. The concierge is like, you know what? Let me not try and define concierge. Look it up in the dictionary, then you'll get the point. But basically, what I'm just trying to say is that you're not going to be providing anyhow kind of service. So it's going to be first class. It's going to be top notch. You're going to have to be at the beck and call of your clients, and that's the reason why you're going to charge them accordingly. Then you'll have to specialize and focus because you can't be a premium brand and you're offering cleaning to everybody. So there are some companies now, for instance, that offer premium services in the what's it called, post construction cleanup. So you finish building and then they go and clean everything, and so you will have to choose an area of focus. Sorry, one moment. Okay, so I'm back. Then also you would also have to overhaul your brand. So you need to work on your logo and all those sorts of things. Work on your packaging, the different aesthetics, um, you know, all these sorts of things. So that's why I say this is not a problem I can help you with. Then, of course, I've already mentioned how you have to move up to value-based pricing. Let's see what else, what else. So I made notes of couple of things. Okay, so I made a note of some things that you have to avoid. Number one, don't just raise your prices without raising the value. If you change your prices from 5,000 per square meter to 20,000 per square meter, but then people can't see any visible change in anything, that's going to be a problem. So it's not just changing the price that is going to make you premium. Then um, try not to alienate the people that are giving you money now. Okay, that's the reason why I say for ICP, we look at our trading history. There's some people that are giving you good money now. Don't just go from 5,000 naira per square meter to 20,000 naira per square meter, and then you now cut off all these people. So we're going to move up market. We're going to be premium. Yeah, you can do that, but don't do that too fast because there's some people who are giving you revenue now. Whether they're giving it to you at 3,000 per square meter or 5,000 per square meter or 6,000 per square meter, those are the people who are responsible right now for you to pay. They are the ones that are making it possible for you to pay school fees, to pay house rents, to pay all those things. So we're not trying to alienate those all those people. Then okay, 30 minutes. Let me just bring this to a close. So this whole thing of human psychology, no problem. This is why I say go and listen to Brian Tracy because it was in Brian Tracy's Psychology of Selling that I first heard this expression: want, need, and afford. Was from Brian Tracy. That is all the psychology that you need for selling. Am I talking to people who want cleaning, professional cleaning services? Am I talking to people who need professional cleaning services? Am I talking to people who can afford professional cleaning services? If they don't want it, if they don't need it, if they can't afford it, then do not be talking to them. When you're thinking about human psychology and stuff like that, you find yourself talking to someone like me and you'll be trying to see how you can close the deal on me. And that's the wrong way to look at it. It's not about closing me. It's about trying to figure out, do I want professional cleaning services? Do I need professional cleaning services? Can I afford professional cleaning services? Now, I might want it, I might need it, but if I can't pay 5,000 naira per square meter, if I can't pay it, I can't pay it. It's that simple. That's all the psychology you need. Do they want it? Do they need it? Can they afford it? When you're talking to people, that's all you're trying to figure out. Then we're also trying to talk to people who have a sense of urgency. It means that they want to take action, today, tomorrow, or at some reasonably defined date. Let me put it like that. We can have a sense of okay, they might get ready to move now, they might get ready to move, some other time. So that's all the psychology you need. When you're talking to people, do they want it? Do they need it? Can they afford it? Any other psychology, whatever you're looking for, is not necessary now. When you have advanced, you can start worrying about all those psychological or whatever. Because people will tell you about personality profiles. What is the personality of the person that you're talking to? People start talking to you about personality profiles. There's even somebody whose work I came across. The person talks about face reading. So you can even read you can read their facial features and determine whether they're interested or not. So all those things of reading somebody's face or reading somebody's personality and all that, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary work for now. It's unnecessary work for now. So want, need, afford, urgency. That's all. Want, need, afford, urgency. That's all the psychology you need. Then on your own end, you need some psychology. You need to come up with a prospecting plan. The plan will keep you on course. The plan will keep you on course because you don't have all the energy in the world. You can't wake up every day and freestyle. So you need to take care of your own psychology. Come up with a prospecting plan. Come up with a simple conversational framework that you can apply. Then some more on this psychology thing. No late nights. No late nights. I beg. You're trying to build a business. Building a business is hard. Sales is hard. Watching Netflix until 2 o'clock in the morning come on. Now I'm not saying you do that, Mr. Sammy, but I'm just talking about, why in Nigeria now, we know how we can be. You're trying to build a business, but you're still watching Netflix until 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're watching Netflix until 3 o'clock in the morning, then 8 o'clock you now have to wake up and hustle. Like, how are you gonna hustle on how many hours of sleep? 4 hours of sleep. Come on now. We need to pay attention to our own psychology as well now. We're supposed to rest. Then also, pen and paper. Too many of you don't use pen and paper. Pen and paper. You're talking to people. Write down something. Record something. You're not a computer. You won't remember everything. You forget too many things. You start, you drop the ball. You don't end up closing sales. So pen and paper. Then CRM tool, customer relationship management tool. Make sure you have one. If you don't have one, use a scheduling tool so that you don't forget. And then uh, another psychology. When money enter your hand, you remove small for phone credit, you remove small for transfer fare, so that anyhow, no matter how at least you be able to make phone call, at least you be able to go for meeting. So on your own end, that's the psychology that you need. But Mr. Sam and any other person who is listening, who is looking for psychological tips and tricks, my message to you is don't try to be too smart. Don't try to be too creative. Because if you do, you will miss the obvious things you can do to improve your revenue. Because a couple of these things I'm saying are obvious. Like this thing of late nights, of watching Netflix until 3 in the morning. This is an obvious something that if you cut that crap out, your business will improve. So if you're worried about, psychological this, you won't see all these small things. Don't stay awake until 3 o'clock at night. Oh, I'm going for a meeting. Let me carry pencil and paper. Or I'm done with the meeting. Let me just set reminder. Or money has entered my hand. Let me just put aside something to buy credit. All these small things you do that will help grow your business, you just miss them. So my own opinion, I beg, Mr. Sammy, nice. Don't try to be too smart. But your intuitions are on point. You mean well. Yes, we're all going to get premium. So it's our prayer that that's where we're going to end up. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time and attention. If you want to connect with me, just like Sammy Nice did, then you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080 if you want to get joined to the WhatsApp group, send me a message and we'll get that sorted. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'm really sorry about all the interruptions today and the noise in the background. I didn't plan my time well. I just thought I'd have a whole lot more time for this episode. But anyway, that's it. So I'll catch you guys some other time.